Hey everyone, I'm Autumn Beachler-Steeving, an Assistant Director in the Office of Education Abroad in the Center for International Affairs, and I'm excited to show you today how to study abroad as a pre-med. So I'm going to share my screen and take you to the Office of Education Abroad's homepage, which is just case.edu/study abroad. When you're here, you can click on Get Started, and then you can click on When Should I Go? And then after that, click Bespoke Program. So Discover Bespoke Program. So this is where we have exactly what it sounds like, planned out programs for different students. So for pre-med, we have a whole chart here for how exactly to make it work as a pre-med student. So if you're biological and chemical science, what to move around. If you're math and physical science, what to move around. Same thing, arts, humanities, and social sciences, and engineering. So know that that's there. That should be step one to take a look at. Then step two is what kind of program do you want to go on? So if you are interested in a faculty-directed CWRU study abroad course, these are 3 credit-hour case classes that go over school break times. They are tied to your fall, spring, or summer registration. They come with an extra program fee, and they're available to everybody, freshmen, seniors, graduate students. Some of them that are health focused during winter break are listed here. Health focused during spring break are listed here. And then we have this term called Spring May Abroad, which is a spring registration, but you go in May. And then of course there are summer programs as well. If you do a summer faculty directed course, it's going to be summer case tuition plus that program fee. Historically, we have not had any of those with a health focus. Summer programs at universities abroad, though, do definitely have a health focus. So you can do health studies in South Africa. You can do a really cool public health in China program that has traditional Chinese medicine, cupping, acupuncture, acupressure, stuff like that that you learn. There is a community and public health practicum in Botswana. DIS Abroad has so many options for the summer as well as for the semester. And King's College London also has semester and summer options. And this Health Study in Santiago, Chile program is also summer and semester options. When you do a summer at a university abroad, you pay tuition, housing, and any other fees directly to the institution abroad. So these vary in price. You should come in for a study abroad advising appointment, and we can talk through some of these. Again, this list that we're going through are the programs that have clinical exposure. For pre-med students, when you study abroad, for health students, when you study abroad, 100% you should look at these programs because there's no better way to boost your candidacy for medical schools, to boost your resume, than to say, I did a study abroad, which medical schools want and they look for. And in addition, I got clinical exposure while on that study abroad. So the clinical exposure is usually tied to a course credit, and it transfers back sometimes as bioethics, sometimes as public health if you have that as a minor, either of those two, anthropology, biology, it depends on what it is. So it is a class and you do get credit for it. And in that way, it's also transcripted. And then there are also other classes that you take in addition to that one. So for the semester long programs, if you do one of those as a pre-med student and you take one class, then that is a clinical exposure course, and then all of your other classes to equate to a full load for that semester to keep your full-time student status, 12 to 15 or more credit hours, those all will transfer back. Your clinical exposure class transfers back in a variety of different ways, and then you take courses at the overseas institution that will transfer back for your major, transfer back for your minor, transfer back for your breadth, for your electives, etc. There's really no limit to what classes can transfer back as, except of course SAGES. So semester and year-long programs tend to be cost neutral. So what that means is you keep paying your case tuition at your normal rate of pay. That doesn't change. Keep your aid, you keep your scholarships. And then you pay your housing and meals to the overseas institutions, which actually usually ends up being cheaper than at case. And there's lots and lots and lots of scholarships available on our website as well to alleviate some of those costs if it seems like it will be too much. Sophomores, juniors, and seniors are eligible. And here's a listing again of some of the programs that have that clinical exposure opportunity. So King's College London in the UK is an extremely competitive program, extremely prestigious. Their Global Health and Society program is fantastic. DIS again has many options, including research and lab assistantships. Some very cool options there. It's in Copenhagen or Stockholm. You have really great public health options, the University of Botswana, University of Cape Town in South Africa, which is beautiful. You've got a global and public health option in India that involves Ayurveda and involves some like a yogic philosophy and Eastern traditions as well. The Health Studies in Santiago program, next on the list, is definitely for students who want to work with a Latinx population. So it teaches you advanced medical Spanish terminology, as well as gives you direct access into a hospital in Chile, which is where this picture comes from, our case student who did that program in the summer a few years ago. DS, again, has public health options. Maastricht is also a very great program that has a lot of really wonderful options with public health and more for students. If you are engineering and pre-med, take a look at Universidad Carlos III de Madrid. Take a look at the National University of Singapore, University of Sydney, and King's College London also in the UK. So if you're ready to get started, send us an email or go to the Meet the Advisors page or go to my journey. We're all linked up there already. Application deadlines are listed, but we do recommend that you come in a year in advance of when you would like to study abroad. Applications for short-term programs are always tied to the term in which you would register. So fall for a winter break program, spring for a spring break or spring May abroad, and summer, and so on and so forth. So thank you so much. Please come and chat with us. There are so many opportunities. Don't miss out.